Good evening. It is great to be here with you. It is evening in West Tennessee, Memphis. It is 3/3/2025, about 5:25 p.m. And well, it got cold again for a while today, and not crazy about the cold. I also attempted to do a video earlier today. And because of this, whatever the problem is, I couldn't remember what it was I wanted to talk about. I was in like a middle of a sentence and I couldn't remember what I had said and I couldn't remember what I wanted to say. And by the time I thought about any of it, I had no idea why I was doing any of it. So I'm back on, and hopefully I can get through this different one. But this Make America Moral Again is extremely important. Not so much for me. I'm old now, and I was raised. I didn't have, the most ideal childhood, but I was raised with good old American values and beliefs. Um, I wasn't raised with all the nonsense and distractions going on today. Now, of course, there were things that, my generation did that my parents didn't like and all of that kind of stuff. But I can assure you it ain't nothing like it is today. Um, I never heard of a transsexual or a transvestite. Um, I hadn't heard of binary, non-binary. Uh, I had heard of gay. That was not completely foreign to me, and neither was being a lesbian was not completely foreign to me. But anyway, um, my values are pretty much set. There's a little of this, a little of that. Um, but you're not going to talk me into any of this crazy stuff, I guarantee you. Men playing in women's sports. Um, I guess when I was like in first and second grade on the recess playground, boys and girls, we would all play kickball or something like that. But once we got up into the middle school ages and the high school ages, it was quite apparent to anyone with any kind of a brain that guys and girls are different. They are. And for anyone to say otherwise, they do need to have their head examined because men and women look different, sound different, act different in a lot of ways. Um, and this is not putting women down, it's not putting men down. It's just that we are different. There are certain things that women do that I wouldn't, like childbirth. I don't want to have to give birth to a child. I don't think I could handle it. Now, I'm just being honest with you. But my wife handled it 3 times and loved it. Not the all the pain, but I mean, she bounced back and you know was just having a blast being a mom. But and my kids, they were pretty well raised um, with the same values um, and beliefs. And nowadays, I worry a great deal. My children are grown. I do have 2 grandchildren, and be honest with you, I am concerned for them because their little brains and all, and their emotional makeup and all of that. I mean, they were little bitty kids, and so they are still very gullible, very trainable, um, very susceptible to basically anything. I mean, that they're kids, they don't know. And they are growing up in some of the ungodliest things I've ever seen go on. I don't believe in banning books. I don't believe in burning books. But I do believe in keeping certain books out of the hands of children. Now, you could put it in the public library. I got no problem with that. But when you put it in an elementary school library, I got a problem with that. Or if you put it on the little bookshelf in a preschool room, I got a problem with that. Certain subjects and certain books and certain topics and issues, uh, they're not meant for children. They're not intended for children. And today, a teacher uh, will try to convince a little boy that he wants to be a little girl, and it's okay that he wants to be a little girl. And she understands, or the teacher understands, he or she, the teacher, understands. And they are accepting of this child's situation. And let's keep it a secret, let's not go around telling everybody, especially, let's keep it here at school. Um, Teaching them about pronouns. Um, I would have had to have failed English back in the day because you would have never convinced me that a he was a she and a she was a he. I was present the day, I don't know what grade it was, but I was present the day they talked about pronouns. And lo and behold, a he or a him was a guy. Isn't that amazing? And she and her was a girl. Not anymore. So I know I'd fail. I was a teacher not too many years ago at it was more of a youth center, troubled kids. And we had a meeting one day, and that these teens, they lived there and they went to school there. And so I was a teacher and I had four of the classes. I had two girls and two boys and groups. And anyway, we had a big meeting, all the teachers, the residential people, uh, all the big wheels. And there was apparently a boy, or at least they put him with the boys. And he was supposed to, go to school and do all the stuff. The only catch was he identified as a female, and we were all supposed to use she and her. Uh, and the can't remember the name, but his preferred name. And I had a difficult time with that. Uh, what I decided was I never called him or him he. I always use his first or yeah his first name um, because it was more of a unisex name anyway, so it could go either way. Apparently, he could too. But I, to me, that was just amazing. And this is what our kids are growing up in. They have drag show uh, people, human beings, I guess. I don't know if they're he or she's, but they have drag queen. Um, I guess drag queen would be a man, wouldn't it? Dressed up like, anyway. Um, uh, Drag queen, he or she. Um, Drag queen, he or she. Well, it's happening again, guys. I hung in there for a while, um, but I'm going to go on. I don't know where I was or where I was heading, but I do know where I want to go, so I'm going to go there. And I just simply want to make everyone aware that this country's going off the cliff. If these are the kind of folks, children we're raising, I mean, my goodness, what kind of lives are they going to have? You know, what kind of well-being will they have? Um, this is sad that our society is trying to force all this, uh, not just on me, because like I said, I ignore most of it anyway. I don't care. If you're a boy, you're a boy. If you're a girl, you're a girl. You can say whatever you want to say. I got no problem with it, except don't expect me to play along with your game. I'm not going to do it. Now, I did have a girl in that school I was at. She told me she identified as a cat. So I knew the girl. She had been there before and moved on and then came back. Tragic situation, but she was a sweet girl. So every once in a while, I'd gig her a little bit, and when she walked by, I'd meow at her, and she'd smile. She knew, um, but I think she enjoyed all these other people, you know, trying to give her saucers of milk and play along with her little delusion. But she knew, and I knew, and we both knew each other knew. And so we kind of had a little fun with that. But, you know, You tell a kid long enough, you're not really a boy. You don't want to be a boy. I can tell you don't want to be a boy. You tell them that long enough, and guess what? All of a sudden, they want to be a girl. Is it because of them or is it because of you? I think it's because of you telling them. Okay. Now, there are some, and I understand that, very, very small percentage of people that have genuine situations where they physically, you know, are not one or the other. And, you know, I feel for them. I really do. And I hope, you know, that they're getting whatever help they can for this. I mean, I hope that everything's being done for them that can be done for them. And if that was the only group we were talking about, you know, I think almost everyone would at least be more understanding. But when we have a boy who can't compete against other boys and he gets his feelings hurt, so he says, well, I identify as a female and I want to go play over there on the girls' team. And then all of a sudden, he's literally the big man on the team. In fact, he's the only man on the team, and he's the only man on either team. All of a sudden, he's a wheel. He's a big wheel, and he won't give that up. Or he's standing at the top of the platform with the gold medal or the number one prize. He don't want to give that up because he knows if he goes and tries it against the boys, he don't have a chance. He won't even be close in most cases. Because if they could compete against boys, they would. Okay, they would. Because if you love competition, then you love real competition. You want to fight to win. So we need to make America moral again, if nothing more than to save our next generation. Because I'm telling you now, they are growing up in one of the most miserable times socially that we have ever known as a country. Thank you very much and have a good evening.